welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Ari Herman. We're here at ADL's Never Is Now event in New York City, and we're going to hear from incredible people doing dynamic things in our community. Let's take a closer look. When you're fighting anti-Semitism, sometimes you have to get disruptive. And with JLens, you're doing something really interesting. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing in this space.
Look, JLens is all about advocacy. When Jewish folks think about the word advocacy, we typically think of government advocacy. But today we live in a world where CEOs are akin to heads of state, where the policies of some multinational corporations like Meta and Amazon, Meta has 3 billion users, daily users, are arguably as important as some of the policies of members of the United Nations, or even more important than some countries. What does the Jewish community do at a time like this, where the business community, where corporations are so influential really around the world? We don't abandon government advocacy, but we need to engage in corporate advocacy. And that's really what JLens is about. We have financial vehicles that we use, that we leverage for Jewish shareholder advocacy. We relay Jewish communal concerns to the top 500 companies in the United States.
I'm hearing in sort of the ecosystem that there's a lot in boardrooms that sometimes, that anti-Semitism is coming out more and more.
Yeah.
How does JLens help in that situations?
Yeah. So we think of products, platforms, and workplaces. Think about products. You might have an Amazon or an eBay who inadvertently is selling something on their platform that promotes anti-Semitism. When we see that, we push back. We also think of platforms. Think of a Meta with Facebook, with Instagram, with algorithms that boost anti-Semitism and hate. When we see that, we push back. And this is something workplaces is really more of a post-10/7 phenomena in the United States. You know, it used to be if you wanted to protest a policy of a company, you would stand outside maybe with signs in the morning when the executives are coming into work or leaving in the early evening, and you would protest. And that's what this country is about. Nothing's wrong with that. But today, the BDS movement, the movement that seeks to demonize and delegitimize the only Jewish state in the world, is organizing employees in the workplace. People are showing up to the workplace with t-shirts that say, Googlers against genocide, okay? How does a Jewish employee feel at a morning engineering meeting when their colleague is wearing a t-shirt that says Googlers against genocide? We promote Jewish ERGs. We promote policies like companies having, as part of their anti-discrimination trainings, teaching about anti-Semitism in the workplace to make sure that anti-Semitism could not survive in the workplace. And those are some of the things that we do as part of our overall corporate advocacy with JLens.
And when I look at this situation, because I actually spoke to somebody who went away on vacation for a couple of days, and he had an Israeli flag. We call it Christian Zionist, right? He had a little Israeli flag on his desk, and then he came back, someone put a napkin over it. And I was like, wow, it happens in corporations, it happens in small businesses, mid-size. What can someone do in sort of like in those situations in the corporate world or in the small business? What are some things?
Look, I'm not specifically familiar with that situation, but a lot of terrible things are going on to the workplace. I would say first and foremost, you have to speak to HR, right? Every company has policies and procedures, and we work with CHROs, we work with HR departments to advocate that they implement policies that really creates an atmosphere of zero tolerance for anti-Semitism and hate. And without getting into specific incidents, if there is anti-Semitism in the workplace and somebody witnesses that, they should speak to their HR professional. And if they feel that the company is not dealing with it in an appropriate manner, well, ADL broadly, and JLens is a proud affiliate of the ADL, has other tools at its disposal to help people deal with the issue of workplace discrimination. Sometimes, in certain instances, certainly not in all instances, but occasionally, you need to utilize legal tools to deal with that. So there's certainly support in that area, but really what we find is there needs to be more education of HR professionals. There needs to be more advocacy. And one of the things that we like to do is we work with our education department at ADL to bring a module called Anti-Semitism 101. It's a digital module which we give for free to corporations. And it lives on their learning management system. And many corporations have anti-discrimination trainings. At no cost, they can have a training that educates their workforce about the issues of anti-Semitism and sensitizes them. So I think there's a lot of different things that corporations could do to ensure that there's zero tolerance for anti-Semitism and hate in the workplace.
What's your hope for JLens in the next year?
Our hope is we continue to grow. We continue to work with Jewish communities throughout the country. Right now, we have a network of nearly 40 Jewish institutions that have invested collectively over $400 million in investment vehicles. And our focus is threefold: combating anti-Semitism and hate, support for Israel, and advancing the Jewish value of Tikkun Olam. We're on the meta ballot in just a few weeks from now. We are going to attend the annual meeting, and we are going to call on the board once again, as we did in 2025, to do a better job combating anti-Semitism and hate, to stop using the algorithms that boost anti-Semitism and hate online. There's a lot of work ahead of us. There's a lot of BDS shareholder resolutions seeking to deny the state of Israel from access to technology and defense systems. So we need to defeat those shareholder resolutions. We need to educate companies what the BDS movement is really about. So there's a lot of work ahead of us, and people can learn more about this at investjewishly.org.
Thank you so much. As you can see, the ADL Never Is Now conference is truly incredible, from the plenaries to the sessions and to the people that are here, really transforming our communities. This is Ari Herman. Thanks for watching.